Spring of 17 of the original Andes from Alpine Stars. And if we think about the first version of the Andes, it vented to the liner. It was a waterproof pant with no direct venting. It needed some beefier protection areas on the insides of the knees and the seats. And in our opinion, it was a little pricey, just kind of pushing north of that $250 mark. In our estimation, the new V2 has addressed all of those things for spring of 17 and beyond. We've seen them update the Andes jacket. They've updated the Andes pant. So what you're looking at is an under $250, really three-season cold-oriented touring pant. But what I love about it, and it's black, and there's a gray version as well, is the big standout for me is they've beefed up the seat and some of the other impact areas, but now you have direct ventilation. So while you have a pant that has a waterproof, breathable Drystar liner that's baked in, you also have a full removable thermal liner. The nice part is these vents on the knees now vent directly to the body. So that allows you, obviously, to get fall, winter, spring, but now you can stretch your spring a little bit later, and you might be able to start a little bit earlier in the summer. You almost get a four-season pant. I'm not going to go on the record and say it's four-season. If you live in California, it's truly four-season. But what you do is you have that ability to vent air directly to the body. In our opinion, we look at this pant, we really look at it compared to something like the Bogota in the Alpine Stars line, and it's going to be tough to make that jump into the Bogota because they've done such a nice overhaul here with the Andes V2. Now, if we look at the material, some of the other nuances here, you're going to see a Dobby fabric show up on the inside of the knees. They beefed up the material down on the inside of the legs. The suspenders that came on the previous version are now fully easily removable, and you'll see it when I turn Brian backwards, the seat is reinforced as well. So all in, for commuting, lightweight adventure touring, 3 to 4 season touring, you have a rock solid pant that really won't break the bank, again coming in around that $230 mark from Alpine Stars. The other thing to call out too before we dive here into fitment is that your knee armor is going to be your Alpine Stars Bio Armor. It's also 3-position adjustable, so again you have the ability to fine tune it, CE rated, obviously, you know, as you decide where you want that to go so that it's in the proper position when you are sitting in the riding position on your bike. Also note here too at the tops of the knees that these elasticated panels for range of motion are newly added. So when we talk about range of motion, let's talk a little bit more about fitment. You can see here, high-vis Brian to my left, 6 foot 195, 42-inch chest, 35-inch belly button, and a 33-inch jeans waist. He's wearing a size large from Alpine Stars here in the Andes V2. It has adjustability built in up along the waist, so it will not take a belt, but those adjusters are baked in. Also note with this pant that it goes up to sizes 4X, which is a nice touch. And when I talked earlier about the fact that the CE-rated armor in the knees is fully adjustable with 3 positions, that allows you to really have to worry less about that inseam. It's going to be a longer pant, but again, that inseam matters less as you're now have the ability to fine-tune where that armor goes. So again, use a size chart. Remember, we'll ship free over 39 bucks. He's wearing a size large. You can kind of see how it fits. It's not overly bulky, but it's not overly European either. Again, we weren't really surprised for it. We think it's well-tuned for the US market, and the fact that the adjusters are baked in and you have the removable suspenders really allows you to fine-tune that fit even further. I love it though. If you click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on the new Andes V2. Now, diving into the nuance. If we look at main construction, it's a 600D poly. It's a more basic material. It's beefy enough for riding, but again, it's not over-the-top bomb-proof. Keep in mind, there's a lot of bang for the buck here, but you're not spending $300, $400, $500 on the pant. You're spending under $250, which again, there's a trade-off there. One of the other improvements they made is this rubberized snap up here out the belt line. This is actually a snap and a slide, which is an improvement over the last version, which was just a snap. That snap and slide allows you to snap it down, but again, that slide allows you to keep it in the position it's supposed to be. So it's not going to be fighting you. It's not going to come undone when you're not supposed to have it, or you don't want it to come undone. If we look, it's a 270-degree, almost 360-degree zip that goes all the way around. That's going to allow you to obviously pair it up with something like the Andes. Again, the Andes jacket's going to have 5 colors. This guy only has 2. Remember, there's a silver version as well. You have basic pockets, slash pockets along the side. You have these cargo pockets. You know what, Brian? Turn and face the side for me. Cargo pockets on your way down. These are non-waterproof pockets. You can see that grommet for water drainage. Again, moving down the leg, you're going to see some reflective work its way in, some stretch on the back side of the knee. They thought really carefully about the functionality of this pant, and they tried to find that right balance of protection and flexibility without breaking the bank. If you work your way down all the way to the bottom, you'll notice that it's not a wide enough cuff to put it on over top of your boots, but that's not really what it's designed for. Notice this big gaiter is non-removable, and that's because the waterproof breathable Drystar lining is actually sandwiched in here. It runs the full length throughout the entire exterior of the pant. It's non-removable. The thermal is removable, but your waterproof breathability is non-removable. Again, that's why I would really consider it more of that 3-season cold weather approach, even with the venting, because again, without being able to take that liner system out, you're not able to ever fully get the air conditioning on. But again, it's not designed for a 3-season warm or a hot weather pant. It's a more versatile temperate season to cold weather pant. Now, last thing, you can't see it here, there is a foam panel here that comes stock for your hip armor. You can upgrade to Nucleon hip armor if you so desire. And from the side here, you get a really good shot of this hip adjuster on both sides, allowing you to cinch down the circumference of the waist. And again, remember, it comes in sizes all the way up to 4X. Turn backwards from there, HVB. If we look at the back of this, reflective Alpine Stars logo screened on at a nice high back here along this yoke. The seat is going to be dual reinforced, and it is this Dobby material, which is still a 600D, but it's a little bit beefier. It carries a different texture. You're going to see that Dobby material at the seat, as well as on the insides of the knees, give you a little bit of a contact point against your bike if you happen to be standing on your pegs as well. And the nice part is they gave you a little bit of stretch on the back side of the knees. We talked about it when we were side profile. Now rear profile, you can really see that cutout. Again, just a creature comfort they're adding in, looking at this pant and saying, for most riding, unless you're going hardcore or really want to take it to that next level of protection, this will cover you pretty well in most scenarios. Again, outside of bomb-proof needed riding, or if it's really, really hot out. Come back around to the front for me there, HVB. The other thing we touched on it briefly is the addition of these elasticated panels at the tops of the knees for flexibility and ergonomics. And then this knee has its own unique pattern. It doesn't really beef up the armor protection, but what it does, it creates a little bit of style and breaks up some of these big solid panels. So again, they are being a little bit more conscious too of the look of the pant. So it's nice to see them build a cohesive unit. All in, you've heard me talk a lot of positive about the new Andes V2 Drystar, new for 17 and beyond. And that's because a lot of the changes, including the reduction in cost, are things that allow us to offer more pant for less money and really address some of the things on the previous version of the Andy that we had issue with. Well, also at first glance too, if you were to hang up the other Andys or the original version right next to it, it just has a much more contemporary feel to it. It has a little bit more of a tech inspiration. Again, adding some of the pockets, adding some of the elastication, and changing up the materials. They've just leapt forward with this pant. So even though under the $300 mark, it's going to be more of a middleweight, it's not going to be a heavyweight, we think for what it is, it's well designed. The next step in your journey, though, is to click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page for the Andes V2 Drystar Pant at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. You should not just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship for free over $39. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our opinion of the latest and greatest in the motorcycle universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.